manager Unai Emery. President Muhammadu Buhari will begin a two-legged trip out of Abuja today, first to Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, for a summit, and another 5-day visit to his country home, Daura, in Katsina State. The presidency explained that Buhari would be in Malabo to attend the 5th Gas Exporting Countries Forum Summit. Other gas-producing countries expected at the summit include Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Bolivia, Iran, Qatar, Russia, Trinidad and Tobago, United Arab Emirates, Venezuela, Kazakhstan, and Norway. A veteran journalist, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, has urged the conventional media to resist the passing into law of the controversial bill on hate speech currently before the Senate. Chief Oshoba gave the advice while addressing the 15th All Nigeria Editors Conference in Sokoto. The former governor of Ogun State argued with instances that there was enough laws regulating libel and related professional misconducts. Describing the bill as unacceptable, Chief Oshoba also offered to be in the vanguard of lobbying the Senate not to pass such a bill into law. On his part, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State warned that a damaging storm to the nation's democracy was fast gathering with such move. One salient fact is that every child's behavior or attitude will be different from one another. In terms of education or even house chores, one might be more hardworking than the other, which may lead to parents favoring one child above others in the family. In view of this, our correspondent Adebanke Bello tries to find out people's opinion on parents having favorites among their children.
A cross-section of respondents interviewed agreed that parents do have favorites among their children for various but obvious reasons. But why should this be? What are the consequences for the children, family, and the society? A media consultant, Mr. Olayimika Babatayo, and a gospel artist, Mr. Kule Ajobale, said, an obedient, up and doing, and well-behaved child always attracts more favor from the parents. They however urge parents not to allow such to degenerate into hatred among their children.
It is possible for you to love one of your children more than others, but it is our responsibility not to show it to them. If you do, it will cause major problems.
Parents do not have favorites among their children, but we are just human. Our Maker, our God, has favorites. He said, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son." In the Bible, you see the life of Isaac. He had favorites. That you will have a favorite among the children, but it's not supposed to, but that's just human.
A marriage counselor, Mrs. Olabimpe Olojede Nelson, said the act of choosing a particular child as favorite may bring disunity in a family.
It is not good for parents to have favorites. This kind of a thing builds bad blood amongst the children. It brings disunity amongst them, but naturally there is the parents to have this tendency of having a special child. My advice is don't show it to all the children.
Two parents, Mrs. Adedoyin Adekito and Mrs. Folashade Joseph, who said almost all parents do fall into the trap of favoring a particular child above others, implored parents to always strive for equity among their children.
It happens, but it's not really a good thing because it causes hatred amongst the children. They will like, my father loves my sister more than me, my brother more than me, my mother loves my brother more than me, or my sister more than me. It's very simple. I don't think it's a good thing.
I think if a parent should have a favorite among the children, this will kind of result into biased treatment of the children in terms of showing them love and care. And this may affect the children psychologically, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and may affect their future.
Mrs. Adekito and Mrs. Joseph said, maintaining a balanced relationship promotes love, unity, and friendship among members of a family. Banke Bello for Pensioners FM.
The Acting Director General, National Pension Commission, Mrs. Aisha Daher Umar, says about 8.85 million Nigerian workers have been registered under the contributory pension scheme. She disclosed this during a pension seminar in Benin, Edo State, noting that the number was recorded as of the end of September. Dahir Umar said the Commission's current strategic focus aims at expanding access to pension via the CPS as a veritable tool for economic development. She added that this aligned with the pension reform objective of old age poverty reduction and improvement in the welfare and general standard of living. She said the quest to expand coverage of pension was being pursued through some transformational initiative, especially the micro-pension plan. Report just reaching us says a 24-year-old South African police constable, Austin Reynolds, has been found guilty for the 2018 murder of a Nigerian Ebuka Okoli in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. Okoli was shot at close range during an unauthorized raid by the police officer, Reynolds, on the community where he resides. Appearing before Judge Shiman Gyanda on Friday on one charge of murder and 3 charges of robbery, the accused was found guilty on all 4 charges. The tide turned on him when his accomplice in the raid turned state witness. A law has been passed in Sudan dissolving the party of ousted former President Omar al-Bashir. Mr. Bashir seized power in 1989 coup and ruled for almost 3 decades until he was overthrown by a protest movement in April. The country's transitional authorities also repealed a public order law that was used to police women's behavior. Both measures responded to key demands of the protest movement, which aims to dismantle Mr. Bashir's regime. Sudan is currently led by a joint military and civilian council, as well as a civilian-led cabinet headed by Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok. Turkey's foreign minister has accused French President Emmanuel Macron of being a sponsor of terrorism, dismissing the French leader's criticism of Turkey's Syria offensive. Mevlut Cavusoglu told reporters that Mr. Macron wanted to be the leader of Europe, but was wobbly. Last month, Mr. Macron angered Turkey by hosting an official from the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF. The spate between Turkey and France comes in the week before the 2 NATO allies are due to attend a summit of the alliance in the United Kingdom. President Donald Trump has made an unannounced visit to United States troops in Afghanistan, his first time in the country for the Thanksgiving holiday. During the brief appearance at Bagram Airfield, Mr. Trump served Turkey to his soldiers, posed for photographs, and met Afghan President Ashraf Ghani. In a speech to troops, Mr. Trump said the United States was in talks with the Taliban, which he said wants to make a deal. Mr. Trump also said the United States was substantially reducing troop numbers. The governing party candidate in Uruguay's presidential election has conceded defeat. In a tweet, Daniel Martinez of the Broad Front Coalition referred to his conservative rival Luis Lacalle Pou as the president-elect. The preliminary election results were so close that the Electoral Court said it will take until Friday to announce the final results. Mr. Lacalle will take power on March 1. His victory will usher in a conservative government